Hello, hello, hello. You are with Tunisia Ali of Tunisia's Locks, Beauty Tips, and Potpourri. I hope that you are feeling beautiful today. I hope that you are taking life by the horns, that you are feeling vigorous, if not invigorated, that you are rejuvenating your life, that you are restoring anything in your life that is broken, that you are on the mend, and that you are feeling clarity and a sense of empowerment. Today we're talking about menopause. We're talking about menopause because I formally entered menopause a few months ago, and I have decided to embrace human hormone replacement therapy, and I'm actually excited about it. Now, Dr. Monet, who is my gynecologist, prescribed this for me 2 months ago. And I was kind of on the fence, but I talked to her about it. And because she's such a beautiful, holistic-minded practitioner, we connected so well. I've gone there a few times since I've been down here, and it's just been amazing. She could hold the space for who I am in terms of my identity, my spiritual background, someone who's very informed about what is going on within me, and someone who's not always as open to traditional medicine, especially when it's not necessary. So because she could respect that, and because we already had a wonderful rapport, we dove in. And I was able to share with her my concerns around hormone replacement therapy. And after listening to Dr. Sharon Malone, which is Eric Holder's wife, who's making her rounds around the country today talking about this same thing, and also listening to Dr. Mary Claire online, who's also big in the space of hormone replacement therapy and women's issues, in particular, the ones that we deal with at midlife. And then also women who are in their 30s are dealing with PerioMenopause. So these two people, along with Dr. Monet, have made me feel comfortable to take a deep dive into hormone replacement therapy, but I want to share it with you. I also want you to share with me your experiences with menopause, whether you are in a place where you are ready to open up to hormone replacement therapy or not. It's not for everyone. It is definitely for me at this time in my life, and I'll tell you why. The 50s, and I have gnats down here. This is just the way it is in Georgia. For about a 40-mile radius in a particular area, there's just nothing but gnats. But I'm at a particular point in my life, in my 50s. I'm 53, and life is beautiful. Life is wonderful. I'm in the greatest space of alignment and harmony that I've ever been. I've moved any and everything and everyone out of my life who was either counter to what was harmonious for me, not in alignment in terms of integrity and values, just expired, whether they were an energy vampire or whatever it is you want to call it. Anything that is not healthy for me, or that was not healthy for me, I successfully moved those things out of my life in the last few years. And so I'm at a beautiful time in my life. I'm at the greatest place of personal empowerment, peace, and clarity that I have ever been in my life. My career is going wonderful. I'm very happy. I'm living a passionate life. I'm in a gorgeous relationship. I feel healthier than I've ever felt. As you all know, I I rode the 35 mile nut roll race last year. And that was wonderful. And I'm continuing this year to make my health an even greater priority. I'm now lifting because, as you know, muscle mass is more important than cardio at this time of life. And this is what is going to sustain us moving forward in terms of our joints, in terms of our strength. And I noticed that whenever I would take a few weeks off, it'd be like starting all over again. So I'm having to rededicate myself to those things. But I'm at a wonderful time in life, and I want to continue that. I don't want a downward spiral in my estrogen to have a negative effect on the quality of life that I have now, because throughout my life, I've had quite a number of challenges. Okay, I've reached the point where everything is in alignment, and I want to capture that, and I want to hold on to that. And I don't want to fall into that mindset of, oh, this is just, what happens when you get old. And you know how we can tend to feel like suffering is, if it's not a badge of honor, suffering is just something that we normalize. Well, it's not. It's not okay for me. And for those of you out there who it's not okay for, I want to hear from you. I want to hear from you. You could be in your 30s and going through PerioMenopause. It starts. I had a girlfriend started in her 30s. All right. I know plenty of people it was in their 40s. For my sister, it started in her 40s. I don't feel that I've had any menopausal, perimenopause symptoms, but maybe I have. Maybe the achiness that I deal with in my body, which worsens around certain food choices, some of that is definitely muscle pain and joint pain is definitely associated with menopause and periomenopause. Some of the symptoms in menopause are identical in periomenopause. Some of the things that you might have been dealing with that you're experiencing, that you're seeing this doctor for and that doctor for and this doctor for that and this one for that, dry eyes are also a symptom of menopause. They cranked up about 3 months ago. And let's face it, that's when all of this stuff got me to thinking I need to, wait a minute, let me see. So you could be having some symptoms and be thinking that are related to something else and going to a doctor who's simply not specialized in this area or not knowledgeable enough. Doctors still are discouraging women from hormone replacement therapy based on studies done decades ago, where the design flaws in the studies are what the false results and the false assumptions were predicated upon. We now know through more current research that hormone replacement therapy is one of the only ways, and maybe the sole way, to prevent osteoporosis. We know that it is a wonderful way to preserve your heart health for women. Oh my God, it's been approved for those two things. Forget about all the things that it will help you with when you're dealing with low to no estrogen levels. The most important thing I can say to you that I've learned is that you get to diagnose your periomenopause or your menopausal symptoms. As long as you are a woman, Dr. Mary Claire says, you need to be considering hormone replacement therapy. Both of these two leading doctors, Sharon Malone and Mary Claire, have said they are going to continue taking it. Unless something indicates that they not need to, they're going to continue taking it. Remember that we are in menopause until the end of our lives. It's not going away. Okay? Story time. Corliss Scipio, my wonderful mother, who sometimes works my nerves. Corliss, I asked her just as recent as a few nights ago. Here we are. It's like, this is to let you know we don't talk about this thing. I said, Mommy, I said, have you ever, did you ever take hormone replacement therapy? And I said it as if she did take it, then she had stopped. Did you ever take it? Because I'm assuming, well, you don't need it now. So she said, yeah, I've been on it for 15 years. I said, huh? The jaw almost dropped. She said, yeah, I've been on it for 15 years. I said, really? Now, the variety of hormone replacement therapy she's in, or that she's on, she got from her acupuncturist. Okay, so I do want to talk to Dr. Lynn, but I have already decided, and I already am 6 days into the Primal. She's been taking it for 15 years, and she said within the last few weeks, she decided to stop. Now, she stopped or lapsed during a time where she's been under a lot because my stepdad is in hospice. Okay, he would make the 5th death in less than a year, period, if he passes in the next few months. So it's been a trying time for her. But also last year was trying for me in terms of the family members that I lost, starting with my dad, and it just continued. And his wife, as you know, passed away a couple weeks ago. So y'all remember the WAP? If you're my generation, you remember the WAP. So anyway, she said, so she lapsed in taking it. And she woke up a few nights drenched in sweat. And she was like, what is going on? And then she remembered, wait a minute, I stopped taking my hormone replacement. Got back on it. She's been fine. The point being, she's going to continue to take it. And if it is going to help you feel better, if it is going to increase the quality of life quotient and the quality of health, I am all in, because this is the best decade of my life. I want to still be active sexually. I want to still be active physically. I've even said that if there is something going on with my joints and it continues to deteriorate in that hip, I will go ahead and have that surgery if it means less having to deal with discomfort. But I have found that with me building the muscle strength, my range of motion is improving amazingly. And the pain is just simply not there, because the pain it's not there the way it used to be unless I eat things I'm not supposed to eat. The pain seemed to be more muscular in my large muscle area. And guess what that is a symptom of? Back pain and thigh pain. Yes, menopause, along with a list of upwards of 30 other things that you might be dealing with. Dry eye. So it may not always be manifesting as hot flashes. I don't feel like I'm in an oven. I'm not dealing with that, thankfully. But remember, everybody has different symptomology. Some women's symptoms are extremely mild. Some are very pronounced, severe, and aggravated. And they may be, taking an axe and breaking windows all day and screaming and hollering. You remember the lady? They used to try to portray this. They try to portray us negative in the media. That lady in that commercial, I think she was at Aldi's or somewhere, and she was trying to get the cart. Oh no, it was probably an HRT commercial. She was trying to get the cart to go in, and it wasn't, and she was banging it. And the whole thing was, well, she's one of those women, her hormones are all over the place. But the reality is this: hormone replacement therapy is not always willingly given to women. It's still being, Albie, stop. Come here. Hold on. That dog is too much. She got out, went around the other side, and came through the kitchen eating area, through the dining room, and came back out. There's a house across the street from me for sale, and people are coming through regularly to look at it. But I lost my train of thought. Let's see how long it takes for that to come back. All I can say is that if it means that it's going to improve my quality of life, that I'm going to have less symptomology as the years go on, then I'm all for it. Because these are the best years of my life. When I tell you that list of 30-something symptoms is very long, it's long. And it includes a lot of things that you might be dismissing as something else. Literally, it's something you need to seriously consider. And the research on it today is very promising. And both of these leading speakers that are talking about it, Dr. Sharon Malone, again, Eric Holder's wife, and Dr. Mary Claire, each have their own clinics. I think Dr. Sharon Malloy's is in Alabama. I think it's the Alloy Clinic. I forget where Dr. Mary Claire's is located. But they are foremost in talking on the topic. Dr. Mary Claire is all over TikTok and YouTube, so you can find her information. They both have books. But that is what gives me the confidence to move forward. That and the relationship that I have with Dr. Monet, and my desire to have a very active life. And I was going to say about the testosterone. When men have issues, they go in, they get that testosterone. Even if they're not dealing with impotence and they're just dealing with less energy, or their testosterone count, T count, is less than what it should be at a particular time, they get the medication like this. It's not the same for women. And not only that, women are sent over there for this, over here for that, over here for that, over here for that, over here for that. And we've come to just get used to this benign neglect that we get when it comes to medicine. And Dr. Sharon Malone addresses that in particular as it relates to women of color, African American women, which is another thing that I love. And she makes it part of the conversation, and I think it's very important. And so I want to share my journey with you. I want you to share your journey with me. If you are on HRT, let's bring it out of the closet. Let's put it in the comments. Let us know what you're taking, how it's working. Because Dr. Mary Claire, if I recall, she talked about, she does the 2 patches and a couple things she does. I can't remember if she's doing testosterone as well. But I know that she prefers that than to taking the pill because of just her lifestyle. I'm doing the pill, but in listening to Dr. Mary Claire, when I go into my appointment next week, I'm going to talk about other things as well, because I believe there is also a suppository, a vaginal suppository. I believe that there various like you can have the synthetic, which I don't have the synthetic. I have the bio, I can't think of what it is, but it is natural. uh, which Dr. Mary Claire says there's a lot of hype around the synthetic hormones. Her belief is that they're just as effective and just as safe. Because of my programming around hormone replacement therapy from back in the 80s and the 90s when I got out of college, and then in the 2000s, I remember like hormone replacement therapy was like the worst thing on the planet. It had such a bad rap. Well, basically, the research that was done, the control groups, the whole study, the design was bad. And so now the research is a lot more testimonial from women. It is based in a good scientific design, and the research is showing some extremely promising results. And like now, you should be able to get your hormone replacement therapy at will. And it's something to think about. With my insurance, ran me $40. I believe it was 40. But yeah, I want to share that with you. I plan on, I was going to say my lipid profile. I get my blood profile and that data next week, and I'm journaling all of this, and I'm creating spaces to put this in the journal. I want to really document every aspect of this journey. Now, I was told within 2 weeks I should begin to feel something. I was also told that it takes longer for muscle and joint discomfort, and maybe things that may be associated with brain fog or other things that you could be dealing with as it relates to hormone therapy. But I'm very excited about it. I'm so excited about it. I can't tell you how excited I am about it, because like I said, I'm entered a decade in my life where I've shed a lot of stuff. I've done my time at Alcatraz. Do you understand what I'm saying? And so have you if you're in this age group. And if you're in your 40s or your late 30s, you might feel like you've done your time at Alcatraz, and you might still be in Alcatraz. But the thing is, you might be suffering more than you have to, and quality of life is important. Our days, our time here are not guaranteed. There's nothing more like the deaths in my family over the last several months that have just brought that front and center. My dad's wife didn't even know she was ill until a couple of months ago. Her situation went down so fast with that cancer. Boom. So life is precious. You are precious. Your beauty is precious. Your spirit is precious. Your hair is precious. The experience that you have while on this earth realm is special. Chime in. Let me know what you think. If you don't have a uterus because you've had a hysterectomy, then you just don't need the progesterone. You need the estrogen. We are still producing testosterone, and we'll continue to produce testosterone until I think we check out of here. But there are women who also augment their hormone therapy and will interject testosterone. The interesting thing that most of us don't think about is, I believe over our lifetime, one of them gave this amazing statistic. I think it was Dr. Sharon this morning. Did she say that over a lifetime we produce more testosterone than estrogen? Or did she say more than men? I don't think she said more than men. What makes more sense is she probably said more testosterone than we do estrogen, because we continue producing estrogen after we've stopped producing we continue producing testosterone after we've stopped producing estrogen. So I think that's very interesting. Very interesting. But there are women who do take testosterone, but there are a lot of things that you can do if you're dealing with libido issues, or you're dealing with things that relate to vaginal moisture or vaginal lubrication, or whatever it is, because they say that as you progress in your menopausal life, that many women experience, on the easy side of things, vaginal dryness. On the moderate side, vaginal discomfort when having sex. And then there's some real severe issues that you can have in terms of vaginal, I think, atrophy. And for those of you out there who are not getting your vaginal exercises and are not doing anything, say you don't have a man in your life, a lover, a spiritual partnership, a husband, whatever you want to call it. You don't have that person in your life and you're not doing anything to activate those muscles, and you might want to watch out. you might want to watch out. You might want to get on a regimen, or you might want to get creative, because some of those conditions, they don't sound very good. I don't want to be in that control group. Do you understand? I don't want to be in that control group. But it's very serious. And I'm laughing, it's joking, but it's very serious. And menopause for some women can be very trying, but for other women it's not. The number one thing you can do, even if you're not interested in hormone replacement therapy, take care of yourself. Get the toxic people out of your life, because they create stress, and stress is not good for anything. That's the first thing you can do. Other things that you can do, supplementary things, which are also just as important, is your eating. Making sure you're eating, the things that we know we're supposed to eat today. Y'all, we're not supposed to have that tiramisu. Y'all saw that video I did last summer with that pecan pie cheesecake. We were talking about that the other day, and we were like, we ate that and we got dizzy. That thing was so rich, and then it had a syrupy T.H.R.O.N.E syrup mixture on the top, over top of some layers of. It was so good, y'all. There's a picture of it with me sitting up there with it. It's beautiful if you're interested in a wonderful cheesecake pecan pie recipe. Oh my goodness. But of course, you need to eat right. You need to eat the basics. You need high protein. Now, I've been a low protein person all this time in my life, so I'm having to adjust to eating more protein, because even for the weightlifting, I may not necessarily get the results I want if I'm not eating the protein. So I'm having to eat more protein. But, resting well, drinking lots of water, the mindset is more important than anything else. I will always put that at the top of the list. Okay, because your mind controls everything in your physical reality. Don't you ever forget it. And I need mine to be clear. And guess what? If this can help me to, moving forward, continue to prosper and continue to be in a space where my body feels good and I don't have to feel bad because my body's feeling some kind of way, then hey, I'm here for it. So again, let me know what your thoughts are. I would love to, at some point, as I may have mentioned the first time I did this video, it wasn't filming, so I may sound repetitive. I would love to, at some point, depending upon what my experience, how my experience goes, to have Dr. Monet to come on the channel. I would love to have her talk more about this, because she's such a wonderful practitioner. She's a wonderful practitioner. And who knows, she may even be willing to talk about some other issues that have nothing to do with menopause as well. So put some stuff in the comments. If that's something you would even be interested in, put that in the comments. I need to know what you think about this. I need to know if you're willing to share. And I need to know if you've already been on hormone replacement therapy, if it's something that you're willing to try, what your experience has been so far. What is your regimen? What are you taking? In other words, and if you have a great doctor or gynecologist story, share that as well. I love you guys. I hope that y'all have a beautiful, beautiful weekend. I got to finish getting my flowers and stuff ready for this season of the year and getting this pollen out of here. This pollen is horrible. It's horrible. I love you guys.